You know how assistant coaches are. Assistant coaches have to feed their family, so they're not going to say nothing.
Right.
But they'll tell you on the side,
That's right.
hey, dude, this dude here is a bad guy. Yeah. And I always try to tell people, man, that dude's a bad guy. Y'all don't seem to get it because he gets on television and he has the scowl on his face and everybody likes him because he won a championship. I had take no personal feelings with me at all about Jon Gruden. The guy actually tried to get me to come back to play for him the first year I retired. Bruce Allen and him called me and my agent to try to get me to come back and play for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers to make another playoff run, and I decided to stay at ESPN instead. But I also understood who he was. Am I surprised that this sort of behavior would come out about Coach Gruden? I'm not surprised that he would talk about people in despairing views behind their backs. Not at all. Am I surprised that he used racial insensitive things? Am I surprised that he was acting homophobic situations, talking about the LGBT community? Am I surprised that he went after the vice president, went after the commissioner? No, I'm not surprised, but what I'm surprised about is some of the words that he used, because I never saw that side of him, Molly. Yeah. I can't sit here and tell you that he called somebody out their name, or I never saw that. But as far as...
Sounds like to your face, it was always positive.
It was a positive thing because I kept it positive, but I also saw through the stuff that he was putting out there. And it's always been that way. It's a funny story. You'll laugh at this, though, too, Stephen A. Prior to him taking... This is why I say a fraud and phony. Prior to him taking the job with ESPN, it was prior to taking the job with the Raiders, he was at ESPN. It was widely reported he's going to ESPN. 3 weeks before he took the Raiders job. Going to the Raiders, sorry. Going to the Raiders. Jon Gruden called me. I'm talking to Jon. Normal. We had an hour conversation about building the staff and about the players and the defense on the team. Why? But he wanted to know about a guy that I knew that he wanted to bring on his staff. But I knew that was all phony. I'm like, why are you calling me about a team? And he says, well, if I take the job, I don't think I'm going to take the job. You already done agreed to take the damn job. But that's who he is. And you have to know that and take it with face value and deal with it that way. Now, as far as all the emails go, in the insensitive language in those emails, he's dead wrong. And what happened to him yesterday should have happened. And you and I had a sidebar conversation. And you told me, Stephen A., you said, no, you're wrong, Keyshawn.
Right.
You told me that. I said, no,
over that one email. Yeah.
Over that one email.
That's
I said, no, man, there's going to be more that's going to come.
Right,
and
that's what you said.
He said, man, it's going to be more that's going to come.
Right.
If they got 650,000 emails reported, you mean to tell me only one email? No. They had a whole 7-year span.
Do you think he can never come back from this, similar to the sentiment Stephen A. said earlier?
Oh, he'll never coach again.
No.
Not in the National Football League.
Never.
Now, if you ask me if some college to some certain region or something like that, because they feel that certain way, they might in college, but in the pros, no, because it's very difficult to look us in the eyes and say to us, we need to play for you, and you need to be our leader.
Right.
Couple of things. That's not gonna happen.
First of all, let me get some names out here because I'm reading from the article of the New York Times here. Ed Droste, D-R-O-S-T-E, I don't know if that's the correct pronunciation, the co-founder of Hooters.
Yeah, co-founder of Hooters.
Jim McVeigh, an executive who has run the Outback Bowl, annually held in Tampa, Florida, where Jon Gruden lives.
I believe that's the uncle of Sean McVeigh.
Okay. Nick Reeder, the founder of PDQ Restaurants, a Tampa-based fried chicken franchise. These are the people that were in the email chain with Bruce Allen.
Yeah.
And Jon Gruden. So the reason I bring that up is because this. Listen, Keyshawn and I go back years. Molly, love you dearly. We've been working together for years and stuff like that. You don't share emails back and forth with people spanning 7 years.
No, you don't.
Where you say stuff like that. Unless you're comfortable.
Unless you're comfortable.
It's a level of privilege also.
Wait a minute. Wait. Privilege.
In being comfortable and feeling that it's
I guess what I'm trying to say is this. You can't communicate with us like that. You could say it once and we like, what the hell are you doing? Whoa. Stop right there.
Yeah.
When you got emails spanning 7 years, and there's an email chain involving all of that kind of language and sharing pornographic material with one another and stuff like that, because all of that's in the article here, okay? That is not an accident. Now, I'm not making accusations.
But no, it's
I'm
not.
saying highlighting that kind of stuff is not normal.
But here's what I'm going to say about Bruce. I've been knowing Bruce since I was a kid, man, here in L.A.
Right.
Bruce was a former general manager at the Oakland Raiders.
Okay.
Eventually moved to Tampa Bay when Rich McKay was pushed out by Jon Gruden. He took over Tampa. Been knowing him since I was a kid, since I was in junior high school.
Right.
His name being involved in that hurts to the core.
Wow.
It hurts to the core. You know who his brother is, right? You know who Bruce's brother? George Allen, the former governor of Virginia.
Wow.
Go figure. I knew that, but I got to separate. I could put a wall up between the brother and Bruce. But then when this started to come out, and I'm sitting there like you say, and you're not putting a stop to it.
Not a stop. Not a stop.
That's not good.
It hurts to the core because you didn't expect it from him.
And you
Not at all. Not at all.
Right.
Never. I would say that's my guy. Right now, I could pull up his number in my phone. I wanted to call him last night so bad and be like, Bruce, what the hell is wrong with you?
Yeah.
But I just decided
I interviewed him once. Seemed like I interviewed him once. Seemed like the nicest guy. Seemed like the nicest guy in the world. And again, I don't know him. You know him, so I'm not going to cast any aspersions on his character. I'm just saying it looks bad. And thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming, sports, and premium content, subscribe to ESPN Plus.